All right, this is a documentary. It's called Nobody Speak, Hulk Hogan, Gawker, and the Trials of a Free Press. Very timely documentary,
Boy, quick
I would
turnaround.
say. Yeah.
Brian Knappenberger, who has been with us before, he's directed, before he did The Internet's Own Boy, the story of Aaron Schwartz. We've talked to him about that 2014. And then the Hacktivist, the story of the Hacktivist, We Are Legion. That was, how long ago was that, Brian?
I guess it was maybe 5 years ago we made that film.
Yeah, and now Nobody Speak, Hulk Hogan, Gawker, and the Trials of the Free Press. This is quick turnaround.
We were cutting right up to the very. I'm almost, don't want to say how late we were. I mean, but we were finishing this off very recently.
You don't have the footage in it, do you?
The footage of Hulk.
You'll have to come to see it. You'll have to come to the screening.
I've not been the same since.
I've scrupulously avoided watching Bubba the Love Sponge's wife and Hulk Hogan getting it on.
I believe you.
I have not seen a bit of it.
I avoided it as well. And that scumbag Bubba the Love Sponge is being sued right now by ratings companies.
Yeah, we have radio hate for him.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
you
I
do.
have
Wow,
personal
okay.
radio hate for him.
He's a piece.
I want to interview you guys.
He's a piece of work.
He is awful.
So do you just try to take an objective kind of cool approach to all of this, or do you
No.
come down on a side? I mean,
Well, I think the answer is both. I mean, you don't. I look at this case and I really think, I hope we articulate Hulk Hogan, his real name Terry Bollea, his case accurately, and I think he emerges as a sympathetic character.
Really?
I do actually. Yeah, even though it was a difficult time. But I think also, you don't walk away from this film and wonder where I stand. I mean, I believe in free speech. I believe in a free press.
We should back up a bit
Yeah.
for people that don't know what it's about.
Yeah.
Just explain.
Okay, let's go back. So Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea, there's a sex tape with the wife of this guy. He claims he didn't know it was being filmed, but it was.
None of us believe him.
Yeah, none of us believed him. But so it's
Yeah, my
it's being
wife's
filmed.
in the other room. I'll just be in here.
Anyway, the tape gets released, and Gawker shows some of it.
That's right. It's an edited version of a half-an-hour tape, just over a minute, about 8 seconds of which is actual him having sex.
And then Hulk Hogan sues Gawker, and Hulk Hogan wins the case, and it puts Gawker out of business.
Right, which is So two things that were surprising there. A lot of people that were watching the case weren't sure that Gawker would lose.
Think they would.
None of us did.
A lot of people. This case got thrown out in federal court that it was protected First Amendment activity. So that was a shocker. Then the second of many shockers in this case was the verdict. I mean, $140 million. It's a many time multiple of average wrongful death lawsuit. So. And that was so staggering and so big that it really was the sort of axe coming down on Gawker's head. Gawker went into bankruptcy immediately, was forced to sort of sell. They ended up selling to Univision. Gawker, the flagship site, was off. The rest of the sites, Cosmodo and Jalopnik and stuff, Jezebel, those sites got under the wing of Univision. So another just staggering development. But then it got even weirder, as if this case, if you were watching it as it was unfolding, could get weirder. It turned out that Peter Thiel, the first outside investor of Facebook, Silicon Valley venture capitalist, was actually funding Hulk Hogan's case the entire time. So that's when it just got...
What does he have to gain?
Because he hates Nick Denton.
Yeah,
Right.
he hates Gawker.
The guy who founded Gawker.
Yeah.
That seems to me that there should be some justice behind all of that for Nick Denton. I think that seems unfair.
Yeah, I mean, people have a lot of different opinions about Gawker. A lot of people love to hate Gawker, or certainly hated their tone.
I liked it.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is a lot of people that hate him the most never seem to read them, which I'm not take that where you will. I'm not sure what that's all about, but yeah, no, I mean, and clearly there are examples where if you wouldn't defend every story for sure that they created,
No.
but do they have a place?
Do we have a right to know?
Exactly.
Do we?
Yeah, do they have a place in this media environment in a country that privileges a pretty robust interpretation of free speech?
Well, just interesting that all of this could come down to a vendetta. That this rich guy Nick Thiel, who doesn't like another rich guy Nick Denton, and they use the court. He uses the court system to exact his revenge against him. That doesn't seem right.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's essentially it. And just as a story, just purely as a storyteller, I mean, a story of a 9-year story of revenge is just, it was too much to pass up. I mean, he carried this and plotted this revenge like a sort of chess master behind the scenes for 9 years.
Did you find out? I mean, what are the things that he seems to have against Denton?
Well, that's, I think, a really interesting thing, and I hope we take that question seriously. I do think there's probably some legitimate gripes. The most specific one that he has said is that they outed him on their pages in 2007.
Oh, yeah.
Like
That's
outed?
Yeah.
Outed. Well, the Gawker would say, and Nick Denton would say, that actually he was known in the community, in the sort of Silicon Valley community, as gay. He wasn't in the closet, but it wasn't sort of widely publicly known. And so Gawker wrote an article with their normal snarky tone that was Peter Thiel, titled "Peter Thiel is Totally Gay, People," and which is typical Gawker.
Yeah.
But actually a relatively substantive article about actually bias against gay people in Silicon Valley, specifically.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and
Be upset
actually I
about
think
that.
a legitimate, both a legitimate article, actually, it's a good piece of journalism in some ways, but also you can understand why he was upset about that.
Nick Denton is gay himself.
Right.
I don't know if that pertains, but it's interesting to note in passing.
Yeah, we explore that a little bit in the film. I think mainstream media would probably frown on outing people. I think the prevailing wisdom is that, it's up to the person. It's the person's
Sure.
prerogative if they are what they choose to reveal about their personal life. But maybe progressive sort of media, or a little more aggressive media would certainly out somebody if there was hypocrisy involved. If it was a Bible-thumping politician who was passing anti-gay, that's clearly most people would agree that's a story.
Do you have a wide stance?
Yeah, but
Should
this-
BuzzFeed release audio tape of Donald Trump
Yeah.
talking about grabbing women by the genitals?
Yeah.
For instance.
Right. This is really interesting, and I think just completely relevant sort of territory.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, these days where we're looking closer and closer at where we get our news from, because we do have to be careful these days.
It's Nobody Speak. Hulk Hogan, Gawker, and the Trials of a Free Press. Nobody Speak.
Nobody speak. We were right. That was from a line in a song. Nobody speak. Nobody get choked. It's a Run the Jewels song.
Got it. The director is Brian Knappenberger. Now, have you shown it to audiences here yet?
No, tomorrow is our premiere.
Oh,
so
good luck.
Yeah, Tuesday at 3:00. We're looking forward to this.
The Library Center is where they're
Yeah,
playing that.
vigorous discussion will ensue, I'm sure.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, we really hung on for the ride here. I mean, Peter Thiel became a Trump supporter and spoke at the RNC and was part of the transition team.
Has
so.
he threatened to sue you yet?
No, I don't. No, and
Did you interview him?
we asked to, and I actually would still put him in the film, and I would, I think I would take his position very seriously. I think we take everybody's position seriously in this film, even if some of it leads us into some kind of disturbing territory.
Well, there's still a chance to see it Wednesday at 11:30 in the morning at the Mark, Thursday the 26th at 6 p.m. at the Salt Lake City Library Theater, Friday the 27th at 4 p.m. at the Redstone Cinema 2, and then Saturday at 12 p.m., the Library Center Theater.
It's an interesting case. Thanks a lot.
I appreciate it.
Nice to talk to you again.
Next time, let's do this next time.
All right, thank you.
Brian.
It's over 1.5 million people here, right?
Yeah.